Well, hello, one and all beautiful souls. This is Liz Grace Christie. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Galactic Mythology, and thank you for showing up to listen to this weekend's Goddess Report. Today, I will be speaking for the weekend of April 18th through April 21st, 2025. Similar to last weekend, I will be speaking on the asteroid goddess Juno because she is making herself into a very pivotal role for the season of Taurus. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, we are entering into the official season of Taurus. Happy birthday to you Venusian, beautiful, sensual, Taurian beings out there. Juno is currently retrograde, and she is now in the sign of Scorpio, as opposed to last weekend where she was in the sign of Sagittarius, making a trine to the Aries vortex, which is that 0 degree point of Aries. And if you haven't already, go ahead and listen to the Weekend Goddess Report for April 11th through 14th. After you're done listening to this one, of course, it'll give you more context behind the goddess Juno, aka Hera. Tapping back into this weekend, April 18th through April 21st. Juno, being in the sign of Scorpio, is in a natural opposition to Taurus. The sun will enter the sign of Taurus on April 20th, 420, for you lovely cannabis lovers out there. And for those of you who do not partake in cannabis, I do find the day of 420, April 20th, every year to have a high frequency to it. It's really worth to see the higher perspective on 420 than it is to go into the negative sides of the holiday, or I guess it's not a holiday. Oh wait, this year it is because it's the same day as Easter. What a freaking joy. I love Easter. I'm not religious on the fact of Easter, but this time of year really brings me joy, especially with all the egg hunts and beautiful pastel colors in the grocery store. It's so cute. All right, enough with the cuteness. Back to my point. Long story short, Hitler was born on 420. Hitler was a greatly impacting and very destructive individual on the face of our planet. Hitler essentially inspired the nuclear age and the invention of the nuclear bomb, which the United States created and then used as an example of peace, ironically enough, because a nuclear bomb has the potential to destroy entire countries, which means millions of lives. Odd enough, this nuclear weapon was successful in its statement of peace, and it has brought us all the way to today, April 18th through April 21st. So let's get right back into that. There is an anomaly happening this weekend, and it has to do with the moon and its phases. For those of us who study the moon and its phases, we are familiar with the new moon phase, the first quarter square, the full moon, and the last quarter square phases. This weekend, we are in the last quarter square phase, which means we are ending a lunar cycle. We were in a lunar cycle that was cardinal, and cardinal has the signs Aries, Cancer, Capricorn. I always forget this one. Oh, and Libra. Libra's in there. We just had our Libra full moon, and we are set to have our Capricorn last quarter square moon this weekend. Or so we thought. Aquarius is stepping in to take over the role of Capricorn this weekend. What? Aquarius is a fixed sign. We are not in a fixed sequence of the lunar cycles yet. Well, at least not until April 20th. And April 20th is the date that the sun will hit that exact 90-degree angle to the moon that will qualify it as a last quarter square moon. It is going to be in the fixed sign of Aquarius because the sun moves into the sign of Taurus, a fixed sign, on April 20th. It's skipping the cardinal last quarter moon phase, which is suggesting that there is an emphasis on all things Aquarian this weekend, all things to do with the future. When I realized that this Aquarian last quarter moon phase for this cardinal season was real, it was really hard for me to accept because there's a part of astrology that is actually left hemisphere focused. It's logical, calculable, consistent, but this doesn't fit in a neat little box. And what it suggests is that from this weekend until the next time we have an Aquarius moon, we're in a new window. And it's one to do with the future, as I've already mentioned. And so I feel like as we walk into this Taurian season, as much as it is an earth sign, there's going to be a level of magic and mystery in the air because Aquarius is trying to communicate with us. I think we are finally at a threshold where we can say that we are in the Aquarian age, but it isn't one that is accessible to everyone quite yet. The human body, Taurus, Earth Mother, is changing and shifting. People are beginning to experience cognitive shifts that are reflecting into their physical beings. I feel like a lot of people in my community have been communicating with me about feeling like they're coming online to say, which is almost ironic because I'm not trying to further us into things that are external. I feel like people are becoming more inward and starting to really understand their body as a temple and one that is a gift to be in and one that we can learn to use very well, as opposed to keeping it dormant and at lower levels of functioning. I've noticed a trend in a lot of people to go sober in my communities, in my art communities, in my event communities, things such as that. People are really tuning into their mind, body, and heart connection. It's becoming more important to people than quick, fast fun. And I think this weekend we will be seeing how people are really starting to choose health and wellness over being sick, which is somewhat of a harsh statement because I understand some people are ill in a way that doesn't mean that they are not well in their personalities, in their hearts, and in their spirits. This weekend, gear up for a new world and let go of what you expect, because Uranus is in Taurus, the sun is moving into Taurus. Expect the unexpected. Uranus is the new world ruler of the sign of Aquarius and has been hanging out in the sign of Taurus for quite some time now. It's been rocking and rolling and shaking up anything to do with finances, stability, luxury, desires. Things such of that nature have been shifting around us. What we feel we need has changed. As the prices of eggs have increased, people have become more willing to do without them. That is a change in desire, is it not? With this in mind, more people have also been turning to the land, Taurus and Earth sign, and utilizing their own humanity to grow food and to domesticate and nurture animals to give them food. Things are shifting, are they not? With Juno coming to make an opposition to the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus, we're being asked to really examine our commitments and what is important to our bodies and our health overall and to the longevity of our species. Juno is a goddess who pre-exists Zeus and has been concerned with humanity for centuries, eons, long before we were here as physical beings. Juno has to do with fecundity, which is a very fun word to say, which basically has to do with fertility and the ability to reproduce. She is a goddess that loves the human body, and she is a goddess that will rub the wombs of mothers as they are in labor. She is a goddess of blessing. She is a goddess of pain. She is a goddess that you want on your side because she cares so fiercely that she will protect her children with tooth and nail. She's a goddess that was put under by Zeus, but was also aware that she needed to step down for the longevity and the evolution of mankind. Things are not always pretty, and that's what Juno reminds us. In the depths of her despair, there is a rebirth occurring. And as Juno transits backwards during her retrograde this year in the sign of Scorpio, she will be making a dance with Uranus and the sun as it edges closer and closer to the center of the sign of Taurus, where it will meet, along with the god Uranus, well, rather planet in this case. Expect the unexpected, my dears. You thought things were weird, but things are shifting in ways that we will be able to see. I wonder how it's gonna be for you when that second Aquarian last quarter square moon phase hits. And when exactly is that date? Well, it's May 20th, 2025, baby. Buckle up, it's gonna be a wild ride. From April 20th to May 20th, there'll be future glimpses, things we cannot expect. Cannot highlight that enough. This weekend, we can also look to Saturn, considering the Aquarian theme. And Saturn will be conjunct the North Node throughout the better part of the weekend. The North Node in Pisces at the 26th degree of the sign. Venus is close behind Saturn as well, along with asteroid goddess Ceres, talking about nurturing and highlighting that fact once again, and also considering Venus desires. With the sun entering the sign of Taurus, Venus will be highlighted and accentuated as well this weekend in the sign of Pisces. So it is only highlighting and emphasizing my notion from earlier for you all to enjoy yourself over the weekend. It is quite the time to do so. Also, Mars will be securely in the sign of Leo as of Thursday and into this weekend, April 18th through April 21st. So have fun with that big Leo child energy. Nurture that inner child and let him or her, they or them, express themselves as they truly are. I love you guys. I'm gonna let you go. It's been a wacky one to record, not gonna lie, but I'm so excited for this weekend, and I think you can probably tell in this report. I really appreciate all of you who have supported me by buying an intuition kit over the last couple weeks since I've released them. I'm still offering a promotional code, podcast20, which is 20% off of the original listing price for my intuition kits, which are $55. And for those of you that don't know, intuition kits are essentially a kit that I curated with a crystal pendulum, a dowsing mat, and a pamphlet with instructions on how to successfully use a pendulum. I wrote the pamphlet, I also selected the crystals, and I illustrated and silkscreened the dowsing mats that are in the kits. This kit is contained in a cotton drawstring bag that I hand dyed myself. I am a textile artist as well as an astrologer, and I really appreciate you for listening to the end. You can find my work at galacticmythology.com, and I will talk to you all next weekend. Bye.